I absolutely adore the X Factor. That's not a popular opinion, but I can't help it. I just love it. I love how camp it is, I love how overdramatic it is, and I love tweeting along with it and poking fun at some of the more ridiculous elements of the show. That's fun. That being said, this series has been something of a write-off. This year's winner, James Arthur, is absolutely fantastic, and his winning single has just gone on to become the fastest selling X Factor winner's single in the history of the show. 225,000 copies in 2 days. That's fantastic. If he gets the right kind of music and works with the right kind of people, I can see him going very far. But the rest of the contestants weren't that outstanding, and the show for some reason has just felt a little bit flat this year. Next year is the last in the current contract the show has with ITV, so it could well be the last ever series of the X Factor. So the next series has to be an absolute tour de force of television. For that to happen, changes need to be made, and fortunately, I've got a lot of time on my hands, so I've given it some thought and come up with a plan. Number 1. Lighten the colour palette. This year, the X Factor has seemed really dark. Over in the UK, this show follows Strictly Come Dancing in the schedules, so when you watch Strictly, and you've got the bright lights and the sequins and the saturated colours, and then you switch the channel, it really emphasises how dark the X Factor is. And I think that's probably had a negative impact on the way the audience feels about the show. Just look at Britain's Got Talent. That's been going for 7 years now, and this year it was one of the best series they've ever done. Why? Because it was breezy, it was fun, but most importantly, it was bright. The X Factor is a light entertainment show, so the emphasis should be on the word light. Number 2, the contestants. The X Factor is in danger of falling prey to what happened to Big Brother, and that's becoming a parody of itself. It's like every year you get a contestant which is supposed to be this year's version of a previous contestant. So last year we had Janet Devlin, who was that year's Diana Vickers, and this year we've had Union J, who are a version of One Direction. They've even had a guy with swooshy hair brought in to make him seem even more like One Direction. At this stage, you may as well call them 4 Directions. And then you get the joke act. So it started way back when in season 2 with Chico, it progressed through Jedward, Wagner, and this year we've had Ryland. Joke acts are all well and good on a light entertainment show, but the problem is they start to become less and less funny as the years go on, and this year it just seemed a little bit too much. Ryland seems to be a very nice guy. I'm sure he'll do fantastically on television, and good on him, but it just didn't fit, and it wasn't as fun as I hoped it would be. If the show wants to get better, it just has to focus on the contestants' individuality. The show is nothing without the contestants, so the better the contestants are, the better the show is. Simple. And finally, number 3, I think the judges lineup needs a revamp. This year, with the exception of Nicole Scherzinger, who looked like she was high on sugar every single night, the judges just didn't seem to want to be there. Louis is wheeling out the same old tired cliches, Gary seems to have lost his sense of humour, and Talisa looks as though someone is forcing her to sit there on pain of death. Crack a smile, love. When the judges debuted last year, it was brilliant. It was almost as though the show had been given a new lease of life. Talisa was feisty and bold, Louis looked to be having a great time with his new colleagues, and Gary could tell a joke like a Marine. Because Marines can tell really good jokes. Shut up and watch this.
George, when you said earlier you've matured, in what way have you matured? Because mature, you know, things mature nicely like a red wine or a cheese, but you've matured like a bad curry, mate.
Zing! That is really funny. What happened to you, Gary? I mean, listen, I love Gary Barlow, and so does the rest of the country, his mums. So it'd be a bit of a shame to get rid of him, but look, he's gonna be fine. It's no skin off his back. He will go right out on tour with Take That and relight my fire up and down every stadium in this country. Question is, who'd you get to replace him? I mean, I'm free, so I will continue to watch and support the X Factor until it dies, maybe even on the panel. Simon, think about it, honestly. I'm going to keep pushing you on this. Until next time, I'm Daniel J. Layton vlogging for gbposters.com. Bye for now.